Hello and welcome back to Cultural Conversations. I am your host Mannat. In today's episode, we'll continue our exploration of Spanish folk music, but this time we'll discuss how it has influenced music worldwide. From flamenco inspiring Latin American music to Spanish guitar making its mark in jazz and rock. Spanish folk music has crossed many borders. Joining me today are Dhairya, Harshil, and Sambhav. Welcome everyone. How are you doing today?
Hi Mannat, I'm doing well and excited for today's topic.
Hello Mannat, I am excited to discuss the global impact of Spanish folk music.
Hi everyone, glad to be here again.
Let's dive right in. Dhairya, last time we talked about flamenco. Can you explain how flamenco has influenced music in countries like Latin America, Cuba, or Argentina?
Yeah, sure, Mannat. Flamenco has deeply influenced Latin American music. In Cuba, it mixed with African rhythms to create son cubano, which later became salsa. In Argentina, flamenco rhythms helped shape the tango. So, flamenco rhythms were the key in the creation of these genres.
Exactly. Flamenco's impact is clear in many genres. Harshil, what about Europe and United States? How has Spanish folk music influenced music there?
In Europe, Spanish folk music can be heard in French chanson and Italian ballads. The guitar techniques from flamenco influence classical and contemporary music in these countries. In the US, the Spanish guitar found its way into jazz, with musicians like Django Reinhardt using flamenco rhythms and techniques. The Spanish guitar also influenced rock music with artists like Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin.
Yes, and even the percussion instruments like the cajon, which is central to flamenco, have influenced modern pop and Latin music. Like in Shakira's song, it's great to see how these sounds are spread.
Definitely. Sambhav, now can you please explain more about the influence of Spanish guitar and the cajon in today's music?
Sure Mannat, the Spanish guitar is a key instrument in flamenco and its technique were adopted by jazz guitarists and rock musicians. The cajon, originally from flamenco, is now used in Latin pop and even in acoustic performance worldwide. Both instruments have helped shape many modern generations.
Okay. Absolutely. Music is truly universal. Now looking ahead, how do we ensure that Spanish folk music continues to inspire new generations?
I think we can preserve Spanish folk music by teaching it to young musicians and encouraging cross-cultural collaborations. With digital platforms, musicians can reach global audiences and keep traditions alive while blending them with new sounds.
Yes, collaborations between artists from different backgrounds will help them keep Spanish folk music relevant in today's world.
Agreed. It's important to mix tradition and modern songs while keeping the core of Spanish folk music instant.
Thanks everyone for a great Now, let's talk about how Spanish folk music has changed in the recent years. There, Spanish folk music is known for its deep roots in tradition. But how are modern musicians adapting it to the 21st century?
Great question, Mannat. While traditional Spanish folk music, especially genres like flamenco, still holds a special place in Spain, many modern artists are still blending it with other genres. For instance, some flamenco artists are mixing traditional rhythms with electronic music, jazz, or even pop. Artists like Paco de Lucia brought the flamenco guitar into the modern era by incorporating jazz influences. More recently, musicians like Rosalia have taken traditional flamenco sounds and combined them with reggaeton and rap music. It's a fusion of old and new that has caught attention of younger generations.
Absolutely, Dhairya. Rosalia's work is a great example of how Spanish folk music is evolving. Herschel, do you think that blending traditional sounds with modern genres helps to keep the music alive, or do you think it risks the losing its essence?
That's a great point, Mannat. I believe blending Spanish folk folk music with modern genres is a great way to keep it relevant, especially among younger listeners. However, it's important to balance innovation with respect for tradition. The challenge is to ensure that while the music evolves, it doesn't lose the cultural and emotional depth that makes it unique. As long as artists remain connected to the roots of Spanish folk music, they can innovate without losing the essence of what makes it so special.
I agree with Herschel. The key is finding that balance. New generation of listeners might not be as interested in the older, more traditional style. But when artists incorporate modern element, they can make the music more accessible without erasing its identity.
Exactly, and that balance is why Spanish folk music has lasted for so long. It's been always mixing and adapting, whether it's blending with African or Moorish influences in the past, or mixing with contemporary genres today.
That's true. The ability to evolve has kept Spanish folk music alive for centuries. Thank you everyone. It was a great day today.